3 weeks into their excavation of Tutankhamun's tomb, Howard Carter and his sponsor, Lord Carnarvon, had cleared the rubble from this narrow corridor to reveal a sealed doorway. They had broken down this final door that led to Tutankhamun's tomb, and what they found inside was astonishing. This is so exciting. This chamber was filled with the most unimaginable treasures. Look at this photograph here. It looked like they'd been left here just days before, rather than having sat for thousands of years untouched. Carter said it looked like the props room of an opera company. There were golden couches, chariots, and wooden chests crammed with food and clothing. All Tutankhamun would need to enjoy his afterlife. But everything was oddly jumbled together, and there was another thing that puzzled Carter. The chamber was a lot smaller than many of those found in the Valley of the Kings, including one very close by. Check this out. That's Tutankhamun's tomb just down there. Right on top of it almost is the tomb of the mighty Ramesses VI, which is on a whole different scale. Just compare the tiny, undecorated chamber of Tut's tomb to this. Much more in keeping with the splendor expected of a pharaoh's final resting place. It just goes on and on and on, ever deeper into the earth. The walls absolutely covered with the most beautiful hieroglyphs and colors. The entrance corridor here is an incredible 58 meters long. Tut's, on the other hand, is just 8. It's enormous. Tutankhamun's tomb could fit just in this entrance corridor many times over. If they built Tutankhamun a bungalow, Ramesses VI got a mansion. Tut's tomb was so small, at first Carter thought he had only found a storage chamber. But the items he discovered confirmed it was a burial, and they give an extraordinary insight into the last days of Tut's life. As we found out last time, medical researchers put Tutankhamun's corpse through the CT scanner, and that revealed several medical conditions that might have affected his everyday life. But they also ran DNA tests, which showed that he appeared to have suffered during his life from at least 2 different types of malaria. Now, there are some objects in the tomb with Tutankhamun that suggest that he might have been suffering from malaria in the days just before he died. Almost a century later, Tutankhamun still draws tourists to the Valley of the Kings. Not much knitting going on nowadays, sadly. Just lots and lots of selfies. Tut's tomb is the star attraction, despite being so abnormally small and plain. But why was it so tiny compared to other royal tombs? The cavernous tombs, like this one, belonging to other pharaohs from around Tutankhamun's time, show the enormous effort, the preparation and planning that went in to a pharaoh's burial. Pharaohs began building their tombs the moment they took the throne. When Tut died at just 19, he'd been ruler for only 10 years, which could account for his cramped burial place. To find out what was required to build a tomb fit for a pharaoh, Raksha has visited a village where the tomb builders themselves once lived.
Just over the hill from the Valley of the Kings lies the ancient village of Deir el-Medina. Last time we discovered it was home to the builders of Tut's tomb.
The houses that the tomb builders lived in are here down in the valley, but the tombs that they built for themselves litter the mountainside.
A man on Lefebvre is letting me in on the secrets of their construction.
I really want to know how hard it is to build a tomb. So how did they do it?
We have to use different material that depend of the stone. Here we have limestone, so we have to use at first this.
Oh, a flint axe.
Iron tools weren't used in Tut's Egypt. Flint was the hardest material they had, so was used for tomb excavation.
The flint's quite good, actually. Okay, so that works.
Teams of up to 40 men worked together to hack out the royal tombs.
Yes, yes, yes. Come on. Oh, look at that. I think I've done a bad job there, Manon.
Once the carving was complete, the decorating began. And Manon has a treat for me. A tomb builder's tomb.
Wow.
Complete with astonishing paintings.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Every place I go to, it looks different.
Yeah.
I can't believe this is a tomb builder's tomb.
Yeah.
It's beautifully decorated. But what I really want to know is, how do they then create this decoration and this painting?
All worker has his places to work. So one people here, one worker here, one here. And all the worker has his job. One man work for the sketch, one man for the color, one man for the yellow, one man painting red, blue. And at the end, they draw with black painting.
All right, so then they do all these wonderful details and the black outline separately.
It must have taken the artists months to decorate this tiny tomb. The mind boggles how long it would have taken to paint the great royal tombs. Which makes me wonder if Tut's 10-year reign just wasn't long enough to build him a suitable tomb. To see if it was possible, Dan and I have special permission to visit the resting place of Tut's great-grandfather, a tomb closed to the public.
Well, here we are. This is KV43, the tomb of Thutmose IV. And I'm really interested in seeing the comparisons between Tutankhamun's tomb and this tomb and what the size is.
Well, yeah, because it's tempting to think they're going to be very similar, isn't it? Because they were only 65 years apart. They ruled for the same amount of time. So the comparison will be fascinating. This tomb was excavated by none other than Howard Carter, 19 years before he unearthed Tut's tomb. We're hoping it can shed some light on whether there's any link between a short reign and a small plain tomb.
Look at this corridor running down. I just love the precision.
I know, then what's this room here? This is... Oh, hello, some painting on this one.
Oh, look at this.
It's extraordinary. I love the painting here, and then this quilt of stars above us. And funnily enough, not much decoration on that side. I wonder if it means it's unfinished.
Yeah, it is unfinished, because you can kind of see, can you see how it's rough there? Then it smooths out. So they've actually plastered this up a bit. They started doing the decorations, and the thing that I really love, which is really sweet, can you see that somebody has started practicing the star pattern, this motif that's running all the way through?
Is it reasonable, therefore, to speculate that the 9-10 years he was on the throne was long enough to dig a massive, great hole inside of the mountain? This is a big tomb, but not enough time to do all the, you know, the interior design on it.
They haven't completed the zhuzhing.
They haven't zhuzhed it up. So is that an archaeological term?
It is now. Shall we go? Let's go.
As we head deeper... All right, watch your head, Raksha, on this. Don't hurt yourself.
Cheeky.
It's clear that the tomb builders simply ran out of time to decorate this space. Isn't it interesting? No plaster, no hieroglyphs, no artwork at all. It hasn't been zhuzhed, as you say.
No zhuzh, it's all rock hewn. There's no decoration here. But it keeps on going down.
So, a short reign could be the reason for an undecorated tomb.
Wait for it.
Yeah, this is it. Whoa, look at that! Oh my goodness, but how interesting, it's completely plain. So the burial chamber is actually, it's completely unfinished.
It's unfinished, absolutely unfinished.
But it is enormous, proving 10 years was enough time to build a full-size pharaoh's tomb. So if Tut's tiny tomb wasn't the result of his short reign, maybe it was because he died at only 19. Perhaps his death was so sudden, it took everyone by surprise.